All right, let's move on to game number 2 on our list, and that's Murray State versus St. Louis. Another Atlantic 10 in the mix with Murray State, who moves over from the Ohio Valley to the Missouri Valley. And I think that could be something interesting. However, they were in the Ohio Valley for a long time. They were a founding member of that league, and they had no problem in that league last year. They found themselves in the tournament. They actually got a win in the tournament as well. They were 30-3 last year. Now they head to the MVC, and that is a tougher conference. And they might run into some struggles. However, they're going to run into a tough team right off the bat against St. Louis, who by many, and you and I both included, have them predicted to win the Atlantic 10, Steve.
Yes. And Murray State, not only are they changing conferences, they're changing coaches. McMahon's gone to LSU. And on the way out, he brought 3 players with him. So 10 of their 11 highest scorers from last year's roster are gone. Through transfer, graduation, they're gone. Their former coach, Steve Prohm, is back. He was fired by Iowa State. He had some success at Iowa State, but he had some tough years as well. And we talked about in our Big 12 preview. They didn't really do well on the offensive end of the things. Defensively, that one of the best in the country, but offensively they struggled. So it's a rebuild, and it's a tough opening game for Murray State. But it's a good way for Prohm to see exactly what he has, because in essence, through people that he brought in through the transfer portal and the JUCO additions and the recruiting class, this is really his team. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. This is his team, and he's going to learn along with these guys how everything is going to merge. So it's going to be an interesting game. St. Louis, don't sleep on St. Louis, folks. St. Louis is going to not only wreak havoc in the A10. I have a feeling they're going to go to the 16 in the NCAA tournament. Javonte Perkins was hurt last year. In fact, a lot of guys were hurt last year for St. Louis, and they still had a terrific year. By all accounts, his knee is healthy. He's back. He's going to score.
Got to talk about Yuri Collins.
I was just going to say Yuri Collins is. Oh.
I want to see if he's able to get 8 assists a game this year again, like he did last year. Well, he was at 7.9 last year, but whatever. 8 assists per game in a tough Atlantic 10 conference, and then they have a tough non-conference schedule too. I mean, their month of November is no walk in the park. I think their only walk in the park is against Evansville, but they have a tough schedule, and they start off tough here against Murray State. I really like this St. Louis team. And it's a reason why you and I both decided that they should be one of the top teams in the Atlantic 10, the top team. We think they're going to be the team that can do it. Yuri Collins, though. I mean, we're into only the second preview, Steve. We haven't said it yet, but guard play.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so you got Perkins and Collins. I actually had in parentheses on my little note card here. Because I'm older and I have memory problems, people, I keep little note cards so I don't get lost. I don't have pronunciations written out here, but I do write notes down.
Nice.
I actually have in parentheses 10 assists, question mark.
Ooh, nice.
I could see him averaging double-digit assists because St. Louis has so many different weapons. Gibson Jimerson, I think he's going to have a break. He's going to be their breakout player, the player that people, it'll maybe take a little while in the A10 to kind of catch on, but it'll be like, oh my God, we maybe need to focus a little bit more on him too, because I think he's going to be a force. The early games, again, will challenge the depth players. We know what the starting 5 is going to do. We know what the 6th and 7th man is going to do. These early games, because of the tough schedule, are going to give us an idea how good and how deep and how tough this Billikens team is. They have been riddled with injuries and the COVID season. They could have probably gone to an Elite 8. I think in that COVID season that got shortened and the tournament was canceled, that really was unfortunate for St. Louis. But even with all the injury problems, they won 23 games last year, and I believe the year before. The two full seasons, they won 23 games. I can't wait to watch St. Louis play on a regular basis, even though I know when they're playing Duquesne and some of the other A10 teams I follow, it will be kind of ugly. But if you're going to sit there and watch your team get beat, at least you want to see a talented team like St. Louis doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree. We're going to see this game on Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time, also on ESPN Plus. Love that we're getting all these games on ESPN Plus, because if you can't watch them all, because it's just physically impossible to watch them all at the same time, you can go back and watch the replays. And that's exactly what I'm going to